Imagine you wake up tomorrow. You check your investment account, and it's down. Not 2%, not 5%, but 25%. Your first thought? What happened? Now imagine millions of people are seeing the exact same thing. That's exactly what happened in South Korea. And here's the scary part. What happened there might be a preview of what could happen in the United States. No, this isn't about fear. It's about understanding how markets work before everyone else does. So grab a coffee and let's break down one of the biggest financial warning signs of 2026. Chapter 1. The country that could do no wrong. A few years ago, South Korea looked unstoppable. Its stock market, the Kospi, was booming. Everyone wanted in. Students, office workers, parents, even retirees. People believed one thing: technology is the future. And honestly, they weren't wrong. South Korea dominates the memory chip industry. Two companies became absolute giants: Samsung and SK Hynix. These weren't just successful companies, they became the market. Together they represented more than half of the entire South Korean stock market. Think about that. Imagine if Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Meta somehow became one company. And that single company controlled over half of America's stock market. That's incredibly risky, because when one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Chapter 2. The Ant Army. South Korea has a nickname for retail investors. They're called the Ants. Why? Because millions of ordinary people invest together. One ant isn't powerful, but millions, they can move mountains. When AI became the hottest trend on Earth, the ants believed semiconductor stocks could only go up. But investing wasn't enough. Many borrowed money. Others used leveraged ETFs. Some invested 2x, others 3x. Which means if a stock rises 10%, you might gain 30%. Sounds amazing. Until it falls. Because then, a 10% loss becomes 30%, and debt makes everything worse. Chapter 3. The Domino Falls. Now here's where things get interesting. Nothing actually started in South Korea. It started in America. US chip stocks suddenly dropped. Investors got nervous. AI excitement cooled off. South Korean semiconductor stocks immediately followed. Prices started falling. Then something dangerous happened. People who borrowed money got margin calls. Their brokers forced them to sell. That selling pushed prices even lower, which caused more margin calls, more forced selling, even lower prices. It's called a liquidation spiral, or a financial doom loop. Nobody wanted to sell, but they had no choice. Within weeks, billions disappeared. The Kospi crashed. The government even stepped in to stabilize the market. Chapter 4. So why should Americans care? Because history has a habit of repeating it. Not exactly, but surprisingly close. Today, America has its own version of concentration risk. The S&P 500 isn't driven equally by 500 companies. A handful of tech giants dominate performance. Companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Apple, Tesla. These companies have carried the market higher for years. They're incredible businesses. But concentration creates vulnerability. If the biggest companies stumble, the entire market feels it. Chapter 5. The Debt Problem. Now here's the part Wall Street doesn't always like discussing. Margin debt. This is borrowed money investors use to buy stocks. Borrowing amplifies gains, but it also magnifies losses. Today, US margin debt sits near historic highs compared to the economy. We've only seen similar levels before major crashes. The dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis. Now, high debt alone doesn't cause crashes, but it makes crashes exactly like South Korea. Chapter 6. The AI Gold Rush. Let's talk about the biggest trend right now. Artificial intelligence. Companies are spending hundreds of billions of dollars building AI infrastructure. Data centers, advanced chips, power plants, cloud computing. Everyone wants to become the AI leader. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta. They're investing at record levels. Investors love it. Stocks keep climbing. But here's the important question. What if those investments don't generate enough profit? Businesses can spend forever. Eventually, they need returns. If executives decide we're spending too much, they may cut AI investment. And if AI spending slows, companies selling AI hardware could suddenly see lower demand. That's exactly how bubbles begin to deflate. Chapter 7. We've seen this movie before. Back in 1999, everyone believed the internet would change the world. And guess what? They were right. The internet did change everything. But most internet stocks still crashed. Why? Because expectations became unrealistic. Prices grew faster than reality. When investors realized profits would take longer, stocks collapsed. Technology survived. Many companies didn't. That's an important lesson. Great technology doesn't always mean great investments at any price. Chapter 8. 2 possible futures. So what happens next? Scenario 1. The optimistic outcome. AI keeps improving. Businesses earn strong returns. Corporate profits keep growing. Markets continue climbing through 2027 and beyond. Scenario 2. Companies slow spending. Investors panic. Debt creates forced selling. Markets experience a significant correction. Nobody knows which path becomes reality. Anyone claiming certainty is guessing. Chapter 9. What smart investors should do. Here's the good news. You don't need to predict the future. You just need to prepare for it. Avoid excessive leverage. Diversify your portfolio. Invest consistently. Keep cash for opportunities. And remember, market crashes feel permanent until they aren't. Every major crash in history eventually recovered. The investors who survived were usually the ones who stayed disciplined, not the ones chasing hype. South Korea's crash wasn't just another headline. It was a reminder. Debt matters. Diversification matters. Risk matters. The biggest danger isn't volatility. It's believing prices can only go up. Because history has taught us one thing over and over again. Markets reward patience and punish overconfidence. So the next time you hear someone say, "This time is different," ask yourself, is it really? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the AI boom is just getting started? Or are we watching another bubble form? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.